Hello, Taurus, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're settling into the new year well. I've noticed that, we've got a 1 year numerologically ahead of us, and I'm already noticing the change, just things changing all around me, not only my life, others around me, friends, family, neighbors. So we're in for one, aren't we? A lot of changes, a lot of new things coming for all of us this year. So enjoy it as it happens. Could be fun, right? This will be your weekly reading for the week of January 11th through the 17th. And during that time, we do have the third quarter moon coming in. And third quarter is a really good time to reflect on those things that we've been trying to accomplish and kind of, understand that here you are, you've arrived. Did you accomplish things or did you not? And it's time to kind of get rid of negativity and negative emotions and really just attain your full potential right now during the third quarter. We will then move into the waning crescent, which is, of course, very stable, very calm, but it's about thoughtful and thinking about the growth that you want to do for when the new moon comes up for the fresh start. So you're kind of self-reflecting and learning and growing and getting yourself situated so that you can make those changes with the new cycle with the new moon. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Taurus. So, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message for this reading, Taurus, is look at the bigger picture. Okay, let's see what the Taurus Collective has going on for the week that has you looking at the bigger picture. As I'm shuffling the tarot, my fun weekly reminder this week is that you notice the world around you, not only this week, of course, but every week, every day, for those synchronicities that the universe is bringing to you. So, this could be things like an animal that you see that you don't see every day. I know here we had coyotes howling last night. We've had those a few times in the past couple of months, and it's just so interesting because while we're in a suburban area, we do have a wooded spot on our property, and we're kind of connected to a larger wooded area. So, but it's not huge, and it's just crazy to me that they're out there. And it sounds like they have pups because they're just yipping and yapping and howling, and so it's just so interesting. Anyway, so and I have yet to look up the coyote energy for myself because I feel like when you encounter an animal like that, look up their attributes and energy, and that's really how you need to manage and deal with anything that's going on in your life at the time. So that's how to use that information, or that's how I use it anyway. But watch for those synchronicities as the universe speaks to you. That's your clues and breadcrumbs to follow that show you the clarity on your unique path. So that's just my fun message for you this week. All right, let's get into this reading. Taurus, January 11th through the 17th. Look at the bigger picture. Your present energy right now is the Five of Swords. So, Five of Swords is about maybe some sort of miscommunication, something going on where, words have been said. Words have been said. There's been maybe some feelings hurt. If you look at what's happening in the background, these people don't look super thrilled about whatever. We're taught as tarot readers that this card is about winning through deceit or underhanded tactics. And I kind of go against the grain. I feel like it's about swords are about communication. So to me, this is about words being thrown out that maybe maybe if you're the initiator of, of those words, maybe you didn't mean to hurt feelings, but maybe you did in a way. Maybe you did mean to hurt feelings, but it's like you've said some things that, look at the sky up here. It's there's feelings are hurt and people are turning their back towards you, right? And maybe you could be on the receiving end of that too. Just remember to kind of, kiss and make up if you can, but just, something to think about. Think about the words that we use, and are you being sensitive around people that may need you to be a little bit more sensitive, right? Your current situation is the King of Pentacles. So this could be, again, words that were said, and maybe something having to do with a King of Pentacles around you. And King of Pentacles is someone who is, this is like a boss. This is like an authority figure, that is someone that's very knowledgeable in their field, someone who makes big decisions and just has knowledge and wisdom, and someone who is definitely about facts and order, and very explicit about things. It's a ruler. So this could be someone that you're managing or dealing with, or this could be your energy right now that you're just really feeling like you're just on top of things in your material world. This could be in your work world or your home world, where you're just feeling like you know what's up, you know what's going on. So and are you wielding that power in the correct way? Let's make sure that we're using our words in the right way, I guess is my message for you. At the root of your situation is the justice card. So, this is about truth, and you may just be spouting truth. And sometimes when we do spout truth, feelings do get hurt. Not everybody, what's the movie line? You can't handle the truth. Some people cannot. So just make sure you're being sensitive to that, but that something truthful, or maybe some information has come out to you that's kind of made you feel a particular way in your recent past here. A little bit of a broken heart here with the 3 of Swords, and again, I see swords as communication. So is this broken heart? I know there's a heart in this card, but it's also could be just something internal that's going on with you. It's like a broken intellect, right? Like something has just been like, oof, blowing your mind a little bit. But think about that. It's probably something that's, again, words that were maybe exchanged just got you feeling a little bit sad. Make sure it wasn't a misunderstanding. A lot of times I find that it's just sometimes you just have to clarify. Is that really what you meant? Just kind of clarify that. And again, if it's work related, that's definitely, I mean, you should do that in every relationship, but don't let something like that fester. What's on your mind is the Tower. So it's been some sort of disruption for you, or it's on your mind to kind of maybe avoid this, or you're kind of sidestepping around something, whatever this might be. We're going to keep pulling cards and seeing, but again, it's communication. We've got truth and a tower. So okay, looks like you're just trying to avoid something, I feel like. Let's see what's just ahead of you this week. Things happening quickly, lots of change. Again, I'm noticing that myself with 2026, that things are just changing and moving. Things are going on. It's a 1 year numerologically. It's the way it's set up. Things are going to be changing. You kind of have to roll with the punches this, especially right now, because it seemed to happen just so quickly after the new year. In your advice position here is the 10 of Wands, and this means just go ahead and do that final push. This is, you're almost there. Whatever this might be for you, collect these wands and push them forward. Let's get them where they need to be, right? um let's keep pulling cards and see what else is happening here. Beyond your control this week is that you might feel some sort of satisfaction. And again, I'm feeling the work vibe here. Is something going on at work where things are kind of rapidly coming in, information's coming in, you're doing some final push to get to a place where you feel satisfied and feel like something has been done. This could also be, being a little bit self-indulgent, and it's kind of beyond your control to feel that sense of satisfaction, or and kind of be a little self-indulgent too. What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid, is the High Priestess. So are you trying to avoid really feeling into those things I was talking about with synchronicities and your intuition? Are you trying to avoid feeling those things, or is it your secret desire that, like, oh, I wish my intuition would tell me what to do in this moment? So that'll be different for different Taurus, Taurines, whatever we call you guys in the plural. But and there's really no right or wrong answer there, but it'll be your big question is, will you use your intuition to solve this problem, or will you only use your logical brain to solve this issue? Can you merge the two of those together to use both, so that you have some sort of if you have an intuitive feel, you can kind of search for those logical things that make it logical, if that made sense, kind of the merging of making decisions in that way, which would be, I think, a pretty big universal thing to conquer and to be able to use. Not, many times all of us are, we all tend to run kind of some of us are just more intuitive, and that's the way we function. We don't even really consider the logical part. Where on the other hand, you've got people that are completely logical and refuse to listen to anything intuitive. So maybe it's something about merging that for you so that you can follow those intuitive things, but also kind of back it up with logic. I hope that made sense. I hope I said that clearly. In your outcome position is feeling a little bit like an outsider. So you might be a little mixed up at the end of this week here. With all of this that's going on, again, I do for maybe there's just some sort of disruption at work. Again, your overall reading card here was to look at the bigger picture. So this might be just something that's very temporary. Things are getting shuffled around and change. Things are happening quickly, but maybe next week everything calms down, right? So we're going to look at the bigger picture. It might not just be about this week. Maybe it's about this month or this year and how things pan out. What is hidden from you at the bottom of the deck is enjoying the fruits of your labor. So I don't see that happening for you this week, which tells me, you're going to kind of have your nose to the grindstone a little bit this week. You're going to have to, do some final pushing to get some things accomplished. It's not a time to sit back and rest on your laurels. You've got something going on. It looks like a lot of communication, but also passion with things that are happening. And you keep thinking about this tower. Is it a tower that did happen or does happen, or is it one that you're trying to avoid? I'm not sure. But it is on your mind. So definitely leave me a comment down below. Let me know, was that different for some of you? I feel like for some of you, you do have a disruption or you're trying to manage something so it's not a disruption. So leave me a comment and let me know where you fall in that situation. Let's get you a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final words through for Taurus as they go through this change this week. These little, I feel like they're little challenges, but I do feel like if you can merge together your logic with your intuition, you're going to be just fine. All right, final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Be creative. Okay. Maybe you do have to come up with some creative solution. And again, is that your logic or your intuition? Now we're going to throw creativity in there as well. I think you'll be fine, but all right, let's see what you need to do in the way of self-care this week. Self-care for Taurus this week. And the card you get is listen. People start to heal the moment they feel heard. I'm going to leave that there, and I'm going to go back to this card right here. Have there been words exchanged? And maybe you were on the receiving end of those words. So if it is a miscommunication, like I said before, try to get it cleared up as soon as possible, especially, if it is some kind of work communication. It just, nobody wants to be walking around like they're, like they're just stepping on, what's the word I'm looking for? Glass, maybe. I don't know. It just, that feeling that you're like, yeah, I don't want to see that person, or, try not to avoid people because of something there. Just hit it head on. This High Priestess card, again, question if you have that ability to let your intuition also guide you, and your intuition will know what you need to say. Of course, your logic is there too, but you can be creative throughout all of this. So, Taurus, this is a very interesting reading. I don't even think I have completely all the conclusions to it. I do think, again, we're in this time right now where things are ever changing. Um, and I don't think that stops this week. I think we might be in this particular energy here for maybe even for the remainder of this cycle that we're in right now. So um get through it. Get through it, and of course drop me a comment if something here relates, or if you have a question, I'd be happy to answer. But I feel like there is a lot going on, and it's not anything super specific. Again, there's some communication stuff going on, but there's just some change that's afoot and things that are changing quickly for you. It's kind of a transitional week for you. So anyway, if you like my reading style, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel, but most of all, it'll help you find me next week, where I hope you come back and we can see where this story goes, or if there's a completely new energy here for you. So, Taurus, thank you so much for being here. Good luck with all of this, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.